Hello everyone, thank you for dropping by watching the video. So today we're going to talk about Chumbi Valley. It's supposed to be a 2-game video. The other one would be Running Duo, but when I went through Chumbi Valley, it was a bit extensive going through their Litepaper. So I figured, let's just do one video for Chumbi Valley just to run through the details that they have explained in their Litepaper, and hopefully you find it entertaining enough for you to be interested into the game. I'm interested. Once I read through the Litepaper, I was like, the publisher or the developer of this game really planned this through. So let's go through it, and hope you enjoy the video. So the table of contents, we're gonna go through about their vision, what is Chumbi Valley, and what those creatures are, and so on and so forth. So gameplay, play to earn, play to save. So there's a lot of items that's gonna go through here. So let's go through it one by one. So all right, how did we end up with the last page? Hang on. Good day everyone, thank you for dropping by and watching my video. So today we're going to talk about Chumbi Valley. As I've mentioned in my previous video, I'm going to talk about 2 games, right? But right now I figured the video might take too long, so I'm just going to focus first on Chumbi Valley, then on a separate video we'll go through the Running Duo. Then hopefully we can get back to Splinterlands, because I'm really excited about the reward card update, but up until now it's still not yet implemented. There's no announcements in Splinterlands Discord channel, so we're just waiting. I mean, maybe in America their day is just starting, so I guess that's that, right? So we just have to wait. Anyway, so let's go through this game. This game is really interesting. The design is really nice, and the details in this Litepaper is really fascinating for me, because it seems like the developer themselves have already planned this in detail before they even started maybe creating the game itself, right? But yeah, let's go through it. So the Litepaper contains a lot of information. So first is their vision, the Chumbi Valley, what is Chumbi Valley, and the details on what their Chumbi characters are, the gameplay, play to earn, play to save, marketplace tokenomics, and the NFT token land sales. So land sales, right? Interesting. And their, of course, roadmap. The roadmap is actually very bare bones, and not exactly bare bones. It's really planned, but there's no dates in it, right? But they have separated in stages. So the group is coming from Australia, but there's no real information yet. They're not yet fully doxed, and they plan to dox it, and later I can show it in the roadmap. They actually plan to put the team into the website. That's what I'm actually waiting for before I really get into the game. But as is, I'm really already interested. So yeah. Alright, so let's go to this slide. So what's their vision? So blockchain gaming along with play to earn movement are signaling paradigm shift to gaming space. So now they plan to economically reward those players for bringing value to the community of the gaming space, right? So for Chumbi Valley, that's what they want us, what they want to build on. And one thing I really like they mentioned down here is that they're focusing on building a strong community and listening to feedback right from the beginning. So that's great. But of course, it's still the decision for the development team on what they feel is best for the game. But of course, they have to listen, right? Feedback really matters in how a game's success comes to. So without the community, there would be no game. So they have to at least listen, understand, and communicate well with the group, with the community itself. They do not intend to rush any aspect of the project. Our vision for Chumbi Valley is long-term. That's great news. No rush, just develop it as beautifully as you can, right? All right, so let's go to the next one. So what is Chumbi Valley? So this game is going to be in the Polygon network. So if you're not familiar with Polygon, it's the Matic network. It's available in MetaMask, which is great. I mean, you can just transfer your money from maybe Binance, then use some Matic, then transfer it to the Matic network. Then you'll be able to fund this game or play this game through that mainnet. Alright, so their plan is it's going to be available in Android, iOS, and PC, but I think the default one will be PC first before they go into Android, iOS. All in-game items and creatures are blockchain-based tokens and NFTs, meaning that anything you craft, anything you have in the game is technically yours, but you can, which means you can sell them, or you can buy and sell certain, all of those stuff. So their visuals and gameplay are inspired by Zelda, Stardew Valley, Pokemon, and Studio Ghibli, which we can see here on the screenshots. They're really small, but let's go to the slide because I copy pasted the picture, and this is more in detail, and look at it, it's really, really nice. All right, let's make it in full view. So I highlighted some items here. So this is going to be you, like you're the trainer, and I know they already gave a giveaway for the cloak, and I think I forgot what the other item was, but the cloak was it's really unique. I don't think you'll ever have one again. I don't know, and I guess they can sell that. I don't know what the value is at the moment. I haven't really looked into it. But in any case, if you were one of those first adopters or first of the community that supported Chumbi Valley, congratulations to those guys. So anyways, so you can see here that there's really an area where you can go around and explore, right? So I would assume this area would be your home, your initial home where you start the game. So this is where you can farm crops, plant food, plant crops, and so on, and harvest them. So you can see Chumbi here just doing watering plants. So I would assume this is going to be automatic. Then you have, you can see here there are different types of crops you can see here, like these are like maybe lettuce, or these are like radishes or carrots, or maybe these are maybe I don't know, rice or wheat crops. Then there's berries. So there's different types of crops that you can grow, which is great. Then you can harvest them. Then it's going to be used for certain aspects of the game we can go through later. Then there's also what they call maybe mining. So maybe you can get minerals or whatnot, or stones and something like that, to add to more resources that you can use to craft items. So you can see here there are 3 characters behind her. So maybe in the actual game there are like 3 Chumbis that you can use at the same time. Maybe, I don't know, that's just speculation on my end. In this one they have a night cycle, so they have actually a day and night cycle, and they also have a season cycle, which is exciting. So that's really nice. So I highlighted the items here. Like from my perspective, this seems like the exploration part where you can fight cursed Chumbis, which we'll go through later. So I highlighted them here. I don't know if this is how they're supposed to look like, and I don't know why only this one has the this is the lucky star token that they plan to use in the game, as similar to SLP in Axie Infinity. So I'm not sure if I'm understanding it correctly. Is it something like that? But who knows? So that's just what I'm understanding based on what I saw on the screenshot that they provided. And look at the details, right? They look really nice. They look like Stardew Valley. They look like Zelda in the old version Zelda. And as long as they can maintain this type of aspect in exploration, this is gonna be a great game. So let's go back to the slide. So that's what they aim for. So that's great. So here comes the Chumbis. So what are Chumbis? These are adorable bipedal creatures, blah 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 blah. So I think getting your first Chumbi, so a Chumbi will be free to start. So there will be a Chumbi that will be given to you. They call it the Ancestor Chumbi, which can help you with basic tasks, but cannot be sold and traded. So basic tasks, maybe that Chumbi can help you water crops, mine, and so on. So at least at the start of the game, you can at least test it out and see if you like it or not. So that's one good aspect out of it. But I think they didn't mention it here. But in Ancestor Chumbi, it's not something that you can probably level or make it stronger. It's just gonna be the base one. So it's not gonna get stronger. It's not gonna give you better yields, better spells. You can't level it up. That's my understanding. So it's just, the purpose of it is just for you to be able to enter the game, experience it, and play around it. If you like it, then maybe you can start buying your Chumbis. And most likely you can buy Chumbis in the marketplace. So here they're mentioning that you can level up your Chumby, as I mentioned earlier, which can and ways to increase your Chumby's earning potential. So Chumby level. Battle against wild cursed Chumby and other trainers to increase your Chumby level. So there's PvE and there's PvP. Chumby with a higher level can defeat stronger foe and earn more. So meaning the higher level, you can earn more, maybe lucky stars, the SLP part. So that's one. Number two is Chumby spells. So this is mostly for the PvE aspect of the game, where you do farming, mining, and chopping trees. Okay, so send your Chumby to the Chumby Sage to learn spells. So when you learn spells, it's gonna cost you some resources. It doesn't really mention it here, but it will cost you like lucky stars and I guess other items. I don't know. Increasing your Chumby spell level will allow it to gather valuable tokenized resources, even if you're offline. I mean. So yeah, so this is what I showed you earlier in the previous slides, where a Chumby's watering crops, a Chumby's mining some rocks, and I guess this one they can chop trees. So at least from that part, while you're away from the computer, it's still gathering those resources for you, and you can actually sell them if you want, or you can craft them, for other materials that you need. Chumby happiness. So this is the part where I really like. It's a passive way of earning in the game. So they call this the Shrine of Giving. It's just basically staking. You're just gonna stake your Chumby, and it's gonna give you yield. Right, so feed your Chumby its favorite food to increase its happiness, meaning that the more, no, it's not this one. So later on, there is a bit more information on this one. So each Chumby has a specific favorite food that you can craft and feed it. So the higher the happiness, gives you better APY. And later on, we'll go through that. How much APY can you get from the Chumby? We'll explain it further there. So the more work you put into improving your Chumby, the more valuable it becomes, and you can sell your Chumby in marketplace or lend them to other players. We'll get to that in a bit. So, all right. So Chumby body parts. So this is pretty much, if you're familiar with Axie, so these are the different parts that Chumby has. So you have the horns, you have the ears, the eyes, the mouth, the pattern, and the coat. So there are two main types, right? So the main one is the type, I guess, main type. So it's insect for this one. So later on we'll go through the different types that's available, but the two main types is the, why did he call it main type, right? So I'm redundant. Main type and coat type, right? So there's just two of them. So they mentioned here that in total there are 15 main types. So there are 15 main types, each with 10 coat variations. Then this means that there are 150 coats that can appear on any type of Chumby. Now, if you're lucky, breeding may result in rare body parts such as shiny coats and even ultra rare mini Chumby. So I don't know how this happens. I've gone through the Litepaper. It doesn't really explain it. So I guess this is more of a chance if you get lucky. All right. So here, so they already have a breeding chart. So that's really interesting. But at least here it details you what are the different types, the main types of Chumbys. You have the neutral, you have the forest, cave, flame, river, mountain, spark, insect. Then you have the tier 2, which are the feather, crystal, frost, flower, tier 3, creature and spirit, and tier 4, I guess probably the most rare one, is void. So what they're just saying here is that you can actually breed your Chumbys on, let's say, river or river flame and so on and so forth. But if you plan to get tier 2s or tier 3s or tier 4s, you need to get these combinations. And these are not 100%. That like if you breed a neutral and forest, you're gonna get a feather. It's not 100%, but it will give you a better chance of getting a feather for something like that, right? So I don't know if it's a better chance, but there's still a chance of creating higher tier Chumbys. Okay, computer blah, 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 blah. Right. So having these two gives you better chance. So I don't know if it like you go for neutral, would that give you a feather? Probably not. But these combinations just lets you know that you can get these, right? So probably I don't know how many times you can breed one. It doesn't really mention here, but at least in here you get an idea. Like, okay, if I'm gonna build a set, I want to go for all voids, then you gotta start pumping up all those Chumbys that you have and start breeding them and getting that void. Alright, so that's the breeding part. So here, Chumbi Battle. So attacks, effects, and abilities. So in here, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, straightforward. So there are two main attacks that it will give you. So the first one is based on the type. So if it's a void, it's a void type attack. For the coat, it will give you this one. I think it's a crystal or something like that. Crystal coat or something like that. I don't think it really detail what the coats are. So I'm not exactly sure what this code is. Probably it's, I'm assuming it's crystal code. Oh yeah, it's crystal code. What am I doing, right? It looks like crystal. It's already written there. Haha. Now, what I don't understand is the eyes, the mouth, the pattern. And for this one, I don't see any horns in here. So maybe that's why there's no horns here. So I don't know what these does. It just mentions like these are effects and this is an additional ability. So these are the attacks. This is an ability. And whatever effects these do. So I don't know what these do. So hopefully they have better explanation moving forward. But at least we get a gist of an idea on like if you plan to do breeding, what exactly are the powers that maybe your creatures or your chumbies will get. Battle strategy. So what you're seeing here is actually the strengths and weaknesses of each chumbi type. So I'm not going to go through that. There's a lot of information here, but at least there's a quick chart here for you to know what their weaknesses and strengths are. So what I want to go through here is this particular item. So I highlighted it. Chumbies earn XP and level up by winning battles. And each time a chumbi's level increases by 5, it will need to eat a candied apple. So this is an additional item where you need to craft. So this is where your farming crops is important. So you're gonna need crops to get, I guess, apples. Then you also need lucky stars to create that candied apple. So this way you can start leveling up your chumbies. And one way to get lucky stars, as I mentioned, I think earlier, is oh, I haven't mentioned it. Then so you can get lucky stars from killing cursed chumbies. So you can get XP and lucky stars. So that's one way for you to learn lucky stars. Or probably you can earn them by selling items, maybe in the marketplace or in the I think they call it this wandering trader or something like that. We'll go through that in a bit. Okay, so gameplay. So there's forest home, exploration, and farming. So forest home, basically this is what I mentioned earlier. So this is where you gather resources, your crops, your mining, your trees, your chopping, your wood. So this is all you need to do there in order to be able to craft usable NFT items and decorate your world. So I guess you can decorate your home place and clear the overgrowth and build a home and become an expert chumbi trainer. So I guess you can actually decorate your area. So that's pretty nice. Then next is exploration. So this is where you will encounter the I guess the cursed chumbies. And they also mentioned here that you can find rare NFT items and encounter cursed chumbies in the wild. Day and night cycles, weather and seasons. So that's pretty cool. Like weather, you have maybe rain or snow or spring or summer. That's pretty nice. And it's randomly generated. So hopefully they implement this properly. This is what I'm really interested in. I hope it really goes up to the expectation that I'm thinking. We'll see. So next is farming. So find rare seeds and start a farm to grow forest crops that have many uses. So so crops are tokenized. They need to be watered regularly and grow on a blockchain based time. So this means that it takes time to grow crops. This reminded me of DeFi Pet in a way, right? I mean, if you need food for your DeFi pets, for your pets, you need to plant, right? And some of those plants will take 30 minutes, 5 minutes, and so on. So I guess when you're growing crops, they would have their own, I guess, time sets for how long each crop will grow. So that's one. Certain crops can even be combined with lucky stars. So an example earlier is the apple, which you can combine to lucky stars to provide Chumbi's favorite food, and for that other case is to help level up your Chumbi. So so this is the part where you need to do this in order to keep your Chumbi's happiness really high if you plan to do passive gaming, right? So if you just want to do yield staking or something like that, then this is definitely what you need to do. All right, then offline earning. So Chumby are masters of the land. They can learn spells. So this is where I mentioned that you can send your Chumby to Chumby stage. So this is where they can do water crops, chop wood, collect stone. So these are, as I've mentioned, it's like these are tokenized. Technically, you can sell these. So you can just actually do this in the game, and you can earn from it basically, because people are gonna need these items if they want to level up, if they want to, make their Chumby happy, and so on and so forth. So that's something. And this is what I like the most, Chumby lending. This is what Axie doesn't have. That's why Axie is so expensive to get into. And scholarships are nice, but I think this is even better. Like, just lend your Chumby, right? So what the good thing about this one is that the player or the owner of the Chumby is able to gauge like how much am I gonna get from whatever this player the person who will be lending this, who will be borrowing the Chumby, will earn. Like, maybe I can set it to 70-30 or 80-20, really up to the lender, right? So that's good. That's also, I think, fair enough for whoever wants to play the game, who can't afford to have a Chumby. So you can just lend it, and you split the earnings. That's pretty great. Chumbi Village, so they will actually have land plots, and I think they're gonna have a pre-sale for this one too, which I'm gonna be watching out for. So the advantages of having land plots is that, so there are these items here which I'm not really interested in, but this one I'm interested in. Is like landowners will also have access to special events such as capturing wild Chumby. So you can capture Chumby, meaning you can get more Chumbies, right? So it's pretty cool. And fighting together in raids, so they have planned raids for giant cursed Chumbies. That's great. So that's another aspect in the game we can look into, right? But I'm not really interested in raids and whatnot. But unless the earnings are good, maybe I'll start considering that. But what I'm really interested is you can capture Chumbies. That's really nice. Alright, so play turn aspects. So you can choose your own path. There's a lot of actually options for you to earn in the game. So baseline is battle curse Chumbies under players, meaning you're just gonna earn the SLP of Chumby, which is the lucky stars. So just doing battle will earn you lucky stars, which are tokenized, and you can change them to real money. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you can farm and sell forest crops. So if you do farming, you can sell them and you can get lucky stars again. Offline farming using Chumby spells, because you can grow crops, mining, and wood. Then craft and sell rare NFT items. So as I mentioned earlier, you can use these items that you get, like forest crops or lucky stars, and combine them into an NFT item, which is candied apple, for example. So that's one. Explore to find rare NFT items. So I don't know, maybe there's some other items that they're gonna make available in the game. Maybe the cloak, right? For example, maybe there are rare NFT items you can get in the game, like items like cloak. So hopefully they can get into that too. I'm really interested in that part. Hopefully they expand it further. Complete in-game quests. So yeah, similar to Axie. Breed rare Chumby, of course. So there's breeding, as I mentioned, because as far as I'm aware, there's only gonna be a limited number of I guess the seed Chumbies that they call it. Chumby Marketplace. So this is where you can buy your Chumbies, and you can only use the Chumby currency or token. So there are two different tokens in this game, so which we'll get into later. Chumby lending program. So this is really nice. Powerful referral system, land plots, APY. So we'll go through that later. Treasury rewards. So we'll also go through that later. Then token staking rewards. So there's a lot of ways to return in the game, which is great. So the question is, which one's for you, right? So for me, I'm just more interested maybe in staking, maybe for that one, or probably buy and sell. Who knows? We'll see. Once we start seeing more aspects in the game in the near future, then maybe we'll get interested further on where exactly we want to fall into. So now we get into the Shrine of Giving. So this is they call as play to save. So this is what I mentioned earlier. So if you have a Chumby that's a very happy Chumby, you can unlock what they call as the APY on your stable coins. So I'm not exactly sure what stable coins that they're referring to. Maybe these are USDT or USDC for Polygon. I guess those are stable coins, and they're gonna give you APY for that. So the happier Chumby is, so they will start as 5%, 10% up until 30%, which is not bad, right? You're gonna get 30%. If you go to the bank, you're not even gonna get like 5%. You know, I mean, for this one, just taking your stable coin and you're gonna get 30% in a year. That's already great. I mean, this is a good way to I guess earn your money. If you have something, if you have something to spare, you can use this option. So this is a great option. Next is the marketplace. So marketplace, this is where you can buy and sell Chumbies. So buy and sell Chumbies, land plots, cosmetics, game items, crops, resources, and more. So I think this part I'm not exactly clear. I mean, is it everything in the marketplace? Because there's also a wandering trader. So his inventory change. Oh, okay. So wandering trader is they have in-game items there that's not coming from the players. So this is coming from the game system itself. So for marketplace, you can sell your crops and whatever NFT items you have in the game, which is great. And for wandering trader then, so this one will have an inventory of I guess different items. That's going to be the same for everybody, but as they mentioned here, it changes each day, and the quantities can be scarce for certain NFTs. So I guess you have to really keep an eye on the wandering traders list. If you find some rare items there, you might need to scoop those up and buy them, and you can sell them in the marketplace for a better price. So the wandering traders items will include useful items, seeds, Chumby cosmetics, player cosmetics, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so you can buy them using lucky stars. For this one, I think you're gonna use the Chumby token when you're playing, when you're buying it in the marketplace. So I actually enlarged this in my PowerPoint, and look at that price. Look at those prices. $980, $1,000. I'm hoping that these ones do not explode to that much. It's gonna be expensive playing this game. Hopefully at the start they don't really go this far, but I understand maybe like this one is really expensive because it's void, but this one is also void, but it's 2-4. But oh, because of the rarity is top 3%. Wow. Okay, so at least that's a brief view. So they have Chumby, land plots, items, resources, cosmetics. So that's what it looks like. Alright, next, Tokenomics. As I mentioned, what's their main token? Which is the Chumby token. So they said that Chumby is deflationary and investors will be incentivized to hold, causing natural, healthy price growth, and can be achieved in a number of ways. So again, Chumby will regard as the primary form of in-game currency, which is, this is marketplace, right? When you purchase Chumby, you will use Chumby token. Breeding fees, sage fees. So even if you're so when you're upgrading your spells, sage fees, you also need Chumby. The wandering trader items. So this is a bit confusing because they mentioned it in this previous slide that you're gonna be exchanging it for lucky stars, but they're mentioning here that you're gonna be trading it for Chumby. That part I'm not quite clear. Land plots, definitely Chumby. Marketplace purchases, and additionally minus 2% off all purchases and fees will be burnt. Oh, okay. So I guess that's the deflationary value that they're mentioning. So it's a control of supply of the token in the game. So it's, in a way, it's burning off some of those tokens just to avoid that, and just to minimize or decrease the number of tokens being circulated. Chumbies also provide holders. Chumbies will also provide holders opportunity to own a piece of the game. So I guess if you hold Chumby, then partly you're also, have that say on how the game will go in the near future. And this one I'm really interested in. I don't exactly understand how this works, but Chumby presents holders staking opportunities. Each holder will have a fair holding score based on the amount they hold and the time they have held for. Locking out Chumby will entitle its owner to staking yield, treasury yield, and NFT airdrops based on their holding score. So I don't know how this works. Hopefully they have a better explanation on how exactly this will work. Like I don't know, maybe a chart or something like that, just to better give this a better perspective on how this will happen. Like, how do they even track the holding score, right? Is it going to be in-game, similar to how Splinterlands does it, right? I mean, SPS, it calculates all your assets from different parts of the game, like even Splinter Talk, they can even track that, and so on. So are they going to do the same thing like in Splinterlands? Maybe, we'll see. So this is their tokenomics. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not an expert. I don't really know if the division or the breakdown of their tokens are good, but my basic understanding is a lot of these are locked for a number of months, and they can unlock it in, I guess, part by part, up until, for this one it's 4 years, 12 months, 12 months, 6 months, 12 months, 4 years, 2 years. So I guess it's not something like it's gonna open all at once. It's just, slowly being opened, and from my understanding, because they say it's like over 6 months, like over 4 years. So this one is something like it's completely locked. It's not gonna open. It's gonna be locked for 6 months. For the other ones, it's like it's gradual, from my understanding. And this is in a way good, because this avoids those people who do pump and dump, right? If you buy a lot of tokens at the initial offering, they just dump it, then that's gonna suck. It's gonna kill off the game, because the price will just spike up and go down. You see that often in a lot of crypto games. And you have to be careful with that, right? Not all games you have to get into the IDO or the pre-sales, because sometimes if you get into the wrong one, or even if it's a legit one but they didn't plan it properly, then you're going to be a victim of the pump and dump. So you got to be careful with that. Next is the second token that they have. Oh, I mentioned a note here, so I'll look into that later. So the next one they have is Lucky Stars. So Lucky Stars is their secondary token. So I mentioned earlier, this is the SLP token that they have for the game. So it's gonna be used for breeding, leveling spells, happiness. So leveling spells again. So they mentioned Sage, right? In the other slide earlier, that Chumby token is gonna be used for Sage spells. So you also have spells here. So that means that when you're gonna upgrade your Sage spells, you're gonna need Chumby and Lucky Stars. So that's interesting. Okay, similar to Axie basically. Then Lucky Stars will be burnt when you use any of these activities, right? So okay. So this will cost Lucky Stars to become a valuable token with high demand, as it is the only way to bring up new Chumby into the world and improve them. Really? Oh, because it's breeding. Okay, I get it. Then players can earn Lucky Stars by exploring and battling wild Chumbies. They've already mentioned that before. The stronger the foe, the more Lucky Stars you earn. Players can also battle other players, so PvP, and earn Lucky Stars. Okay. Additionally, players can earn Lucky Stars by completing in-game quests, farming crops. Right. So as I've mentioned, these are the items that you can also earn. So from the Wandering Trader. So yeah. Okay. That's completely understandable. Lucky Stars will be minted each time a player completes a play to earn task. It will also be burnt in increasing quantities as players breed and improve their Chumby. Oh, okay. So the more you level up, the more Lucky Stars, or the cost of Lucky Stars will be. And the more you breed, the more cost of the Lucky Stars will be, similar to Axie. So that's completely understandable. That's also a good way to burn this token. Chumbi Valley team will keep a close eye in the inflation rate and ensure that an optimal balance is maintained between supply and demand. So yeah, so this is something that they need to control, and hopefully it doesn't inflate too much. It can cause a lot of issues in the game. Same thing that happened to Axie, right? SLP exploded and people started diving into the game, and now SLP is dying down and people are losing money from the game. So they need to really control this. So that's it for Lucky Stars. So another one, revenue treasury. So this one is just basically where what the company earns from, right? So the game revenue streams, as I mentioned, so marketplace fees. So there are fees in the marketplace. I don't know how many percent that they're gonna take from marketplace. They didn't mention it. Marketplace promoted listings. So you can actually promote your listing. So if you're selling your Chumby, you can promote it. So they'll add a fee there. So it will be highlighted somewhere in the main page of the marketplace. Chumby breeding fees, of course, some Chumby sage fees, yes. This one I didn't really understand. Play to save overflow. So in the shrine of giving, I don't know what overflow means. So hopefully I can get some information coming from the Discord channel. Maybe I'll try to ask. Wandering trader sales, yep. Chumby village land sales, merch, staking yield. So this one I don't really know how this one works. I mean, you're staking yield, so whatever you earn, 30% of it goes to treasury. I don't know, so that's my understanding. But we'll see. So 75% of all gaming revenues will go to the treasury. So this will strengthen the play-to-earn ecosystem and Chumby's value as a large portion of treasury's fund, and will be shared to players and holders each week. That's nice. Okay. Treasury will also be used for planting real trees. Ooh, okay, so they're going to do charity donations, in-game events, and so on and so forth. Funding decisions will be made in conjunction with Chumby holders. So this is what I mentioned earlier, that when you own a Chumby tokens and you stake them or hold them, then you'll be able to have some governance, decision voting for how they will go with the treasury. All right. The next, NFT token and land sales. So these are the activities that they plan in the near future, and as you can see, everything is to be announced. So there is Chumby NFT pre-sale. So there's only 4,096 Chumby NFTs that is rarest to exist. So these are what they call as the seed Chumby. So hopefully I can get into one. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I hope it's not as expensive as I think they'll be, because they're rare, right? So pretty much they're gonna price it a bit higher, and they'll have tags or body parts that are exclusive to these types of seed Chumbies. And you'll get access to VIP events, so pre-launch, breeding, beta gameplay, and much more. So Chumby token sales, again, to be announced. So I don't know if you're interested in it, then maybe you can get into it. For me, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll get into it if I have the budget, but my priority would be this one first before I even look into this. Then, of course, I guess this one is top. This is number 2. This is number 3. Or maybe this is number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. So we'll see. So Chumby Village pre-sale, so they're going to sell land. So I don't know how much the lands are going to go for. So we'll see. There's no update yet. Roadmap. So as I mentioned earlier, the roadmap in my perspective is very basic. They just mentioned okay, this is stage 1, this is what we're gonna do, and you don't know when these other items are gonna happen. The ones I marked in red are the ones that I'm really looking forward to. So the ones in white, they've already done it, and the latest one that they did is the Litepaper release. And they also did a bit of press release articles, I think. Not articles, but social media influencers. So there are quite a number of YouTubers that you'll see already posting their videos about the game. Private sale I'm interested in, because that's going to include does that include the pre-sale? Oh, probably not. No. This one should be here. Okay. So in stage 2, what I'm really looking forward to is the full website with team, because I want to see them doxed. Because the game right now is really interesting, and they mentioned that they are a team with a lot of backgrounds on game development, and they scrapped their company of, I think, for a number of years, maybe 8 years, just to build a new company just focusing on Chumbi Valley. So I'm really interested. I just want to see their docs team here, their website. Looking forward to that. Then of course see Chumbi pre-sale, and I also want to see the white paper release. So this is just the light paper, so they're gonna have an even more in-depth document to further explain the game. And Chumbi IDO, hopefully, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Then launch of Chumbi token. Then on stage 3, so there will be closed alpha and the land sale. So from my understanding, in Discord, from what I'm seeing, in terms of pre-sale and so on, these are gonna happen in 2 to 4 months. So these are not gonna happen in September or October. Probably they're going to happen somewhere in November or December. So we'll see. So the pre-sale might start there, and everything will just go through. Probably these ones will happen in 2021 Q1. So probably this is Q4, Q1, then Q2. So this is going to be a long-term investment if you plan to join the game. Right, so the beta might be in Q1, so we'll see. So this is just my assumption, but these seems like by quarter targets. So quarter 3, quarter 4, quarter 2022, quarter 1, and quarter 2 2022. So quarter 2 2022 will pretty much happen. All of the items that I'm really looking for to happen will happen here. But the priority ones, of course, is going to be the NFT pre-sale and the land sale. Those are what we're looking for. So those are the top priorities. So I guess that's the roadmap, and that's the last slide that they have. So hopefully you learned a lot from this video, and if they have any further updates, I'll try to chime in a bit or add it in some of my videos, just an add-on or quick update. If there's nothing major, then I'll just add it in excuse me, into some of my other videos, just to fill you in on what's happening with the game. And yeah, with that, thank you for dropping by again and watching my video. Leave a like or a dislike if you didn't like it, and subscribe to my channel if you find my content interesting. So right now my channel is pretty much focused on Splinterlands at the moment, but I'm expanding into these things because I want to look into other games as well. I mean, Splinterlands great, right? But it's not something like you can't put all of your money into one basket. So I'm looking into other opportunities, and if I have something that's really interesting, I'll probably share it, similar to this one. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to upload the running duo one. And if I have anything else, hopefully the reward updates will be out. Also, I'll probably do 2 videos maybe, or maybe 1 video, who knows, we'll see. Alright, with that, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again in my future videos. Have a nice day ahead, guys. See ya.